Good afternoon. This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing, but it's a thing we want you tuned into every Saturday afternoon. I'm Elsa McGee, your host, and today, again, we are here doing the same thing we've been trying to do ever since we started the show, is to make sense out of a sensitive situation called the plight of veterans in the USA and the USA with the plight of veterans. We're here today with our standard co-host and our special co-host today, talking about the same thing we've been talking about, and we're gonna shift it over a little bit though, because I'm gonna turn it over to my co-host, and we got a very special guest here today with us, the brother that has designed the construction plan for the Sons of Atlanta Vietnam Memorial Wall. This is Memorial Day month. You know, we are thankful for all of those that have paid the ultimate price for the freedoms that we enjoy in this country every day. So we're here working again. So I'm gonna turn it over to my co-host, brother Dr. Michael and Tony, and I'm gonna ask Robert to come up here and take my seat so he can be in the hot seat. And we got some stuff to show y'all. Come on, Robert, up here, please. And I'm gonna take your seat over here. Okay.
Right.
And I think we already got it on there.
Oh.
Yeah, we already got it. So
You're in front of the camera.
You're in front of the camera. Yeah. No, you're good. Yes.
All right. Wonderful.
Okay.
Mr. Fowler, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Anthony Merritt here as well. This is a wonderful day, awesome opportunity. If you want to just give us a moment and introduce yourself.
Sure. I'm Bob Fowler. I'm the head of Fowler Design Associates, Architects. We've been in Atlanta for many years. Actually, the firm was started 51 years ago by another architect named Tipton Masterson. And we've been practicing architecture primarily private sector, corporate, office, industrial, retail, all kinds of things, but mixed use and adaptive reuse, and special projects like the one that we're working on with Reverend McGee and the Sons of Atlanta group. We're very excited to be a part of. So.
Wonderful. So on today, we're really excited because we've got a pretty action-packed show as usual, but more fitting, today's Armed Services Day. So we're paying homage to all of the individuals and all of the branches of our U.S. military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, the Coast Guard, and now the Space Force. So whereas it used to be 5, we now have 6 most illustrious units that we have to honor. So I just want to take the opportunity to really talk about that. But more so, we've got a lot of exciting things happening right now, especially with respect to the overall memorial. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit. Any opening words you want to share with us?
Yes, especially about Armed Forces Day. I just left an event in Jonesboro that was hosted by a well-known Atlantan, Casual Cal, and he made it. One of the city councilmen down there in Jonesboro recognized those organizations, military organizations that are areas where veterans can go and get assistance. That was the primary function of most of the organizations that were there, and they were all recognized, one of which is we're intimately associated with is Vet 22. They were there and recognized, and some of the local groups there in the Jonesboro area. So it was really exciting to hear what those organizations are doing to help veterans and compare it to and associate with our organization that's also working to assist veterans in getting their benefits. So it was an exciting group. Everybody's excited, was excited about having it, and we're looking forward to doing it next year. It was everybody agreed that it was a success, but it's something that we want to do year after year. So Casual Cal has tentatively volunteered to host that organization and this particular celebration in years to come.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a great thing. And, it's very important for us to really observe and acknowledge all of the different things that the Veterans Service organizations do in and around Atlanta, specifically as it pertains to veterans benefits. But we're also talking about opportunities for transitional housing, employment services, healthcare, especially with the VA, homelessness, substance abuse, counseling, credit repair, qualifying for different loans and all of these different things. But also, we talk a lot about suicides as well, but it's very fitting, especially today on Armed Services Day, that we acknowledge that the suicides are not post-service as we have acknowledged them in the past. We're actually seeing suicides right now taking place on active duty on ships. So we really have to take that time to really see what's going on around us and do the best that we can to ensure that every individual understands that this organization in particular is dedicated to not just honoring the veterans of the past, but those that are just coming out of active duty, returning from different wars themselves. So without further ado, I do really want to highlight that today, but we're here for more exciting things. So we're going to be talking a little bit today about the memorial, and I think Mr. Fowler's got a presentation or some slides or something to that effect that he wants to actually share with us. So if you would just take us through what you have here and give us a bit of information on what we're looking at.
Sure. Maybe we want to start at the beginning of the slideshow, and the first couple are not real exciting. They're maps of Atlanta and Piedmont Park, and this go up one, go the other direction. So there we go, that one.
Yeah.
We located a spot in Piedmont Park near the intersection of 14th Street and Piedmont Road, the entrance to the park, that's relatively flat and open, some large trees around it. Walked that site with some of the Sons of Atlanta group virtually a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Reverend McGee?
Yes.
Exactly.
So it's been a process going through this, and as we've gone through it, many conversations with the city and the Parks and Rec folks, and a variety of organizations that have to do with the approval of something like this. Not many people design or build memorials within the public park, within the biggest park in the city, but this is an exciting project, I know, for the Sons of Atlanta. So maybe we can stop on the large image there, that one, and talk about that for a second. So the team from Sons of Atlanta had some ideas about what to do, and we took those and began to work on it, and it's gone through several stages. But this is where we are now. It is a plaza that is built of a combination of concrete, granite, and bricks, with the imagery of a star, and within the star are the 5 original branches of the military, and each one has bronze medallion embedded in the concrete. It's actually terrazzo, and then all of out of that emanates the imagery of the 5 sides of the star. Also give us opportunity to have placards that describe the various cities in the Fulton County area that from which soldiers were taken into the military back at the beginning of the Vietnam War, and so there are 10 placards that give us an opportunity to tell that story, including Fulton County, and Reverend McGee has a statement that I think will be a part of that. And we're excited to illustrate that, and the statement there, Sons of Atlanta, and freedom is not free, which we all know. And I was in college when Vietnam War was going, and the year I graduated, a month later they stopped taking people. So I did not go, did not have to go. I would have, but proud of those who did and who gave of their time, and some of them of their lives. And my father was in World War II and a Bronze Star recipient, but the Vietnam War was a big deal. So here we are. This memorial gives an opportunity as a quiet, thoughtful place to come and think about what war is and what that war was, and the sacrifices that were made, and then to read and learn about it in that place. And so the materials are all high quality granite, concrete, bronze, and brick. And the bricks in the plaza and the sidewalks approaching the plaza give opportunity for people to invest in this memorial and buy a brick and have their name engraved, or the name of a soldier that they loved or respected, and be a part of that thing. So we're ready to go,
Yes.
and hopeful to get all the financing in place and the bricks sold and engraved, and start building the project.
Yes, wonderful. We must recognize and actually inform the public that these bricks, you actually have an opportunity to participate in this event, in this construction, not physically but monetarily. And if you can see yourself fit to make a donation to the sonsofatlanta.org, just visit the website sonsofatlanta.org. There's a donations link. When you click on the donations link, you will effectively buy a brick. And once you pay for that brick, you will be given what's called an order number. That order number, you'll be utilizing that on the second link, which is the actual information link that you specify how you want your text to appear on the brick itself. So it will ask you specifically for that order number when you're giving that information. So it is a two-step process, but nonetheless, I just spoke to some folks earlier today, and I encourage them to really, support this effort. So you have an opportunity to be a part of history in having your name inscribed on one of the bricks in downtown Atlanta at the Sons of Atlanta Vietnam War Memorial. So I do want to make that point very clear. And if anyone has any questions, you can always reach out to me. I'm going to answer the phone whenever. You can call me at 404-482-0295. And if you have any questions about purchasing the brick and what you should do, if you would just want to give a donation and you don't want to participate on the different levels for the bricks, we can do that as well. So there are 4 stages of bricks, 4 different price points. The first is 100, the second is 300, third is 5, and then the last is 1,000. All right, and the higher in price you go, the more stuff you can put on a brick. We can actually take up to 20 characters per line. Right? Yes. Yeah. So lots of space to put a lot of stuff there, and also important, you can donate as an individual, but we also invite our corporations to join in as well. So it's a very fitting time with so much going on in the world. Democracy currently in being questioned. We are a group of individuals who recognize those who have fought so much for our freedoms, and here we are today. The very thing that we fight for in other countries is currently under attack in our own country. So we want to take the opportunity to really recognize, where we are. We're going to use this as a transformational point in history, not just for the city of Atlanta, but we want to impact the entire nation. So this is just a critical first step in a series of steps that we're going to be taking as a task force to see to it that we can achieve that goal. Anything
Yes.
you want to add to that?
Sure. One of the events the event that I attended today, after explaining how the memorial will look and what it's all about, I had several people that come up, and some of them were actual veterans of Desert Shield. One guy was, he said, I wasn't in Vietnam. He said, but I want to be a part of that.
Yes.
And I said, yeah. I said, that's a great opportunity for you to put your name and be permanently a part of that memorial for as long as that memorial will last, and it'll outlast you. So I was excited about that, hearing someone that was interested in doing that and not directly associated with Vietnam, but wanting to be a part of it. And that's what we're looking for today. Those people who want to be a part of this phenomenal event that is happening in Piedmont Park that we're all a part of. And so we want to encourage everybody, if at all possible, to become a part of this.
Yes.
You're a part of Atlanta history. And Atlanta has some great history. And so here's an opportunity for local citizens to participate something and be a part of Atlanta's history.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What about businesses and other organizations in the community? Will they be able to do this too?
We really want, yes, we really want to encourage businesses to participate in this. It's a great opportunity to put your mark on an organization and on a memorial that is so befitting this city that you will be a part of it. And so we're encouraging not just individuals, but we really want individuals, but corporations, any major corporation that wants to be a part of this, here's an opportunity to step up and be a major donor is what we're looking for. Major donors toward this, because this is extremely important for the city and for the veterans. Yeah.
Yeah. I also want to mention a couple of other things. Desert Storm, all of the veterans of the wars after Vietnam. A couple of reasons why you want to be a part of this is because what you're witnessing here is a group of individuals who successively, and when I say successively, I'm talking about we've always had a series of veterans from previous wars actually help veterans from successive wars transition and understand benefits and so on and so forth. So we are dealing right now with a group of veterans who are essentially the seniors of the veteran community that have come forth and put together not just a memorial, but a series of programs through their different VSOs that actually help veterans understand exactly what their post-service benefits are. So it's only fitting at this stage of the game for any individual who has served in any war after Vietnam to really harness the power of what we're doing here, because at some point in time, after these individuals have grown up and gone to see their maker, you are going to be filling that role. So step forward and participate. You don't have to wait until that happens. Be an active participant now. It's not just a matter of having your name engraved on a brick and placed at the memorial, but get involved in the organization and see exactly all the things that we're doing, because quite frankly, you could probably benefit for some of the things that are actually taking place. I will switch gears for just a minute, so I'm going to have a little fun with Mr. Fowler here for just a second. So, so in a nutshell, I'm going to give you a little history here. So, I had the pleasure of meeting with Anthony and Reverend McGee just over a year ago, and through another mutual friend of ours, the facilitator Jonathan Rosser, and he actually asked us to. I need just a conceptual design. If you can help me put a conceptual design together. I said, okay, fine, no problem, right? So I said I could do this, in my sleep, because what I was going to do, my daughter Whitney Paulus and her classmate Assad Dubose were formerly students at Kennesaw State, and they took the architecture program there, right? Great. So I said, okay, they got all the software. This is a piece of cake. I'm gonna knock this out. So several iterations. Fast forward, we've got the conceptual draft. Reverend McGee was being so nice because he was he wanted specific things within the memorial itself, but he also wanted to make sure that he didn't stress us out too much. But I'll put it this way: the mission was more. When I heard the story, okay, the mission was more important than the actual task itself. So at that point in time, I just said, we're gonna make this happen. So I sat up with these two youngsters, my daughter and her classmate, and we're just hammering through that stuff, and we put forth designs and so on and so forth. But it came to fruition. So that's kind of where it all started. before it got
was it you all that brought us the thing that we saw when we started?
Right. So
that's great.
So
That's
all
great.
of that stuff that's where it all started. So
Well, there is a baseline that we can go back to if we get nixed from the project here.
no, that won't happen. No,
That's great.
It's been fun, and just to see how far it's come, I think it's been a great thing. As a matter of fact, when I showed the actual architectural drawings to my daughter and her classmate, they were like, "Wow!" They said that adds so much life to it. Given the time, I'm sure they would have probably gone there, but we were just trying to stay within budget.
You're probably learning all the software we used on that.
Yes. As a matter of fact, they are. So it was wonderful, man.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you, Robert. We have been planning to do the engraved bricks, and they got a lot of people got questions about the engraved bricks. Now, once they get once the brick is engraved, how long does it take for you to get it back? Or do you have any estimate time that we need to follow to get the bricks engraved? Because this is Memorial Day. Right?
Yeah.
So we're trying to make sure that when you get the green light, we don't want to stop it. We don't want to.
I don't know the answer for sure. We've talked with brick folks about that, and I know everything that you want to buy these days. Certainly construction materials, but everything. You buy something for your home or wherever, it takes many times longer than you ever thought it would take.
That's
right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that getting the bricks engraved is not in the critical path. But it's I don't know if it's a couple months or what. But we have a bunch of things to do. As soon as you say we have the money, green light, go. As you know, we have surveyors. It took a while to figure out who's supposed to do a survey in Piedmont Park for a project like this. Just send your surveyors out and just start poking around the park. I don't think so, but we figured that out. We've got all the engineers and surveyors lined up to go. That'll take a little while, and then construction. And we've got the contractor all lined up, who's certainly a part of the team. And but if you have the bricks lined up, that process can start early before other things start. So I don't think that'll be the critical path.
Okay. All right. We really want to know that because we don't know what stage it is with the National Park Service.
Yeah.
But we believe we believe with all our heart that the National Park Service is going to come back with a green light because of their relationship with veterans. And I just want to say this too. I want the businesses to know that Gene Care Medical Center in the West End for the first brick.
Corporate brick, yes.
First corporate brick. So we don't want Gene Care to stand alone. We want the rest of the community to come on in. Now it's time for them to come in and help us finish the project. Because I was at a state council meeting today in Macon, Georgia, and there's a video on YouTube that I'm going to bring up that says, "What do Memorial Day means to you?" And now I'm in the room with a bunch of Vietnam veterans. These are hardcore Vietnam veterans, all of them teared up. This was a teary exercise because this film talks about the young people that we're talking about.
Yes.
And talking about, the fact that some of them never voted. During the Vietnam era, you had to be 21 years old in order to vote. And if you look at our website and look at the pictures, look at the demographics, look at the demographics that you got on the website. Most of these young men was under 21 when they got killed. They was under 21. My friend Lewis was born in November. He was killed in April, so he was not 21. I had turned 20. I turned 21 in March in Vietnam, and he did not turn 21. He was KIA before he was 21. And we have to think that this is a sacrifice too much to forget. We have to unify the country behind that sacrifice. What did they serve for? What were they doing when they perished?
That's right.
Some of them never had children. And their families' loss was something that the community had never really gathered around to acknowledge. But in this particular project, we're talking about 8 cities in Fulton County. Never did anything together before. We're going to come together in Piedmont Park for this honor. But we want it to be more than just this honor in Piedmont Park. We want to make sure that it's going to honor the democracy that we serve for, that they sacrificed their lives for. And we just want people to understand this is real serious business that we're talking about in terms of honoring those who have been killed in war. Because right now we're watching another war, and every year, whether we want it to or not, when high schools graduate, our children goes into the military. We need to build a better VA. We need to build a better community reception for those that return.
Yes.
So I want to thank you guys so much for what you're doing in terms of helping us get here. Because this is one of the most noble causes I could think of in my lifetime that I have been a part of.
Yes.
In my lifetime. So thank you.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
Right. And
Absolutely.
Fitting to say that, and I think we mentioned this several times before, but 8% of the state population of Georgia are veterans, of which 21% of those individuals actually live in the metro. All right, so it's very fitting. It is definitely an honor to be a part of this organization and actually work with the entire task force and team to bring all of this together. Now, we had a couple of events. Actually, one big event, I think it was July 4th last year, when we actually had a number of individuals come out to see exactly where the memorial is going to be erected and so on and so forth. A really, really good event. So, anything you want to, anything that you want to say about that? I do remember that the media was actually involved as well. We had a lot of the local TV stations and radio stations actually came and they conducted some interviews. What's the most memorable part of that event for you?
The most memorable part of the event to me was getting together when Robert Fowler and Tiggs all came out there to Piedmont Park. We did this media event, and that was all it was meant to be. And because of red tape, we thought that it wasn't going to happen. But people kind of bent the rules and allowed us to come to Piedmont Park, and we had people from Atlanta City Council and Fulton County commissioners and community that was there, and all committed to this project. Getting the project together. I remember my nephew came out and helped us set up, and Tiggs them came out and put the sign up that we had made at Signs to Go. And I want to just shout out to the community, and I'm looking for them to buy a brick, because it is a community project that's designed to bring community together around our country. The love that these young men demonstrated for our country, we should demonstrate for it.
Yes.
We should have that same kind of desire to see it succeed. We know when we pledge allegiance to the flag that all of that is not true, but we believe it's possible. We believe that we have this nation, and I can say over the years, I watched Atlanta, Georgia develop into, it was my hometown always, but it used to not be what it is today. It didn't have the opportunities that it has today. And I think it's because of what we did in the military to give this people in this city the rights to do the progress that we made. And I think that's what I would like to see happen in every county in the state of Georgia.
Yes.
When I go to D.C. and look at that memorial wall, it's so huge, and I know too many names on there to grasp it, and I've always walked away from it empty. I look at the site that we got now that's not yet built, and I feel a calmness in my spirit for this, what we're doing, and that's what we wanted. That's the spirit that we want to catch. When people walk through the park, they'll feel the spirit of these young men that gave their all for what we got today, what we are enjoying in this country today, and we should value it to the point that we can practice some of the things that they did. When I left Atlanta, Georgia, got the folk been in Georgia. That was the first time in my life that I had ever lived in a barracks or a building with somebody that was not my race. And it was one of the most growing experiences that I ever had in my life, because I developed bonds that will last forever.
Yes.
The problem with that is that we dropped those bonds, those communications that we had when we got out of the military. We came back to our segregated mind communities. We didn't keep it growing. And I think that's the threat to the democracy that we see today. We have to let our people know that this democracy is capable of giving all of us equal justice, liberty, and opportunities.
Yes.
You know, I believe that. And I think these young men, I know Lewis did, because this was one of my best friends in life. Never made it to be 21. I made it to be 75. So I got to tell the story. I got to represent him. And that's what I'm hoping will happen in these hometown memorials, that we will feel some kind of way that we need to represent what these young people represent. So
yes, wonderful.
That's great.
Yep, that's always a great thing, and being a part of this task force, one activity that really, hits home for me is having the opportunity to conduct what we call the Breakathon, and the Breakathon was a series of televised or Zoom calls that we had with members of the community who were able to call in. People had the opportunity to listen to the actual Breakathon. We were raising funds for the memorial itself. And one of the speakers that we actually had was a task force member, Ron Ali. And he actually took the time to go through, almost veteran by veteran, every one of those individuals or select individuals who had lost their life in that war. He had a story behind it. And one story that he told that really touched me was speaking to a young lady who her father went and served in the war and was killed in action. She never got an opportunity to meet him. And in speaking with her, just letting her know that we were going to take the time to honor her father was such an emotional story for her, but I think it was more of an emotional story for a lot of people that were actually on that call as well. We really took the time to honor those, and that's what it's all about. So as the Reverend McGee is talking about fighting for our democracy, one of the things I want for all of us who are listening right now, and luckily for us, this is televised because I want to be replayed as many times as possible. Okay, 9/11, this country was attacked. Okay, it was horrific. I remember where I was when that happened. Okay, here's the deal. In the weeks and months following 9/11, we had such an influx of people heading and flocking to the churches, that there were not enough seats for the individuals who wanted to attend those services. And here we are, 2022, and we've gotten so far away from those events that we're so numb to the respect that individuals within our country deserve of each other, that we don't seem to have a common cause anymore. And I'm really praying that this event, this memorial, and all of the activities that we are doing above and beyond just the construction of the memorial will actually help to heal us as a nation. You know, we talk about involving students that are in junior ROTC in high school, those who in some cases will either go to one of the military service branches and or the service academies and or early commissioning program or enlisted. You know, we want to really have an opportunity to work with those individuals, the individuals who are in senior ROTC as well, so that they can understand what their role is in molding and understanding, you know, the hierarchy of this nation. You know, the military branches, they report to the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States. Okay, so they're taught to be apolitical. Okay, so this event in itself and this memorial, there's a series of other events, educational events, and actually involvement in the libraries where we're going to have documentation, media, and a whole host of different things. We've had a lot of recordings over the past year, and we're really going to utilize that opportunity to get the story out, because I think, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
I believe.
Speak it into existence.
I believe that as people start to see this and pay attention to what's been going on, that it's going to really resonate, and it's going to, you know, it's going to cause hearts to change, and that's what we need today. You know, So I just want to, I can't thank the task force members enough. It's just been such a great experience. I'm knee deep in it, and I'm not getting out anytime soon. Reverend McGee's going to probably volunteer me for something else, but that's okay. I have no problem with it.
I guarantee you. Yes. Yeah. No one sits idle.
Yeah.
I'd like to say something.
Sure.
After what Reverend McGee and you have said just now, and Reverend McGee, your point about the bonds you made in the service, and I'm not sure if you're too young for Vietnam.
I have two older brothers that served. I was around.
You served.
Yeah, I definitely.
And I would have, but I was. So the bonds you had were really meaningful. You come home from the service, and both from the standpoint of just naturally getting back to your families and businesses and so forth, but also the segregated world that was far more so back in the 60s and 70s, which was desperately wrong, but it was the way it was. I would love to add to your comments about this memorial and the opportunity to put this project together, that anybody that sees this video or hears about the Brickathon and the memorial in the media that served in Vietnam, frankly, you could extrapolate that to any of the other conflicts that people have served in. If you've separated from just naturally or whatever from your buddies from the war, now's the time to come back together.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now's the time to come back together and invest in this, but more than that, just to join the Sons of Atlanta group, but more than that, just to get back together with your buddies.
Yeah.
Yes.
And build the bond that was there.
Yes.
So.
And I was in this meeting in Macon today, And what you're saying, Bob, and after I got through talking about our memorial, they're doing memorials as well. And, you know, we're influencing the development of local memorials already. And this is to me is very powerful, because that's the only way we're gonna get back together. That's the only way. Our society is so fragmented at this point. We're gonna have to go back in our past and see how well we did together. How well we did together.
Yes.
You know, one of the things that I miss, and if you ever talk with any Vietnam veteran that was in combat, they would tell you that they have never seen a unity in the military, anywhere else that they saw in Vietnam, between all of the combatants. That was America. We was together. We had each other back.
That's right.
You know, it was all for one and one for all. We have to get back there, and hopefully, if we can really understand the sacrifice that these young men made, and the families made, and our communities made, what could they have been doing? You know, what kind of contribution they could have made? We have to think about that in order for us to get past some of the meaningless differences. And I say meaningless differences.
Yes.
That we have. We got to find a way to do that. And I think, and I'm praying that this is a beginning. This is just a beginning. So I really appreciate you guys for doing this, and the community for helping us. And I want to just shout out to Councilman Bond and the Atlanta City Council. I know they ain't did the final vote yet, but I count numbers good. And he told me when we left out of community development, don't worry about it, it's a done deal. The financing of this memorial is coming out of the tax dollars of this city. And that means more than the brick sale to me. Because what that says is that we finally got the hometowns, the elected officials, to recognize what happened 50 years ago is meaningful today. It means something today. It means something to them, because some of them know that they would not have had this opportunity to be where they at if it had not been for the military service that these young men made. So I think we're on a good path. You know, we just got to stay there, because, you know, this is just the beginning for this memorial. We're just not talking about building a monument in Piedmont Park. We're going into the community centers and the libraries to teach the community how to care again with volunteers. Now, one of the things I've learned, and we've learned since we've been doing the project, is that the VA is really open to helping us with this. Dr. Cooper, who is over volunteer services, is going to show us how to set up volunteerism in Fulton County, to make sure you wouldn't think about how many teachers you got retired, how many police officers you got retired, postal workers. You got a lot of retirees in this city that would love to volunteer if they was encouraged to do so. And I think we're going to be able to encourage them to come into the community centers, to make sure that we're providing the knowledge and assistance and the resources that's needed for a better quality of life in the underserved communities, so that we can do away with crime. See, crime is a product of lack. It's just a side product of lack, and, you know, mental illnesses. So we're going to address those issues. And you talk about suicides. Every week, Tony and I is somewhere with some group talking about unifying our resources to make sure that we can eliminate homelessness. You know, and I think this was the platform that gave us the capacity to start this discussion among people that want to make a difference. And not only did Councilman Bond stand up and help us get this funding, find out that he's doing re-entry, which is something that we have to be concerned with people coming back into our community out of prison. You know, if they was bad boys or bad girls before they went in prison, let me tell you something from my own experience, they'll be badder boys and badder girls when they come out.
That's right.
So we have to do something different than we're doing now. And dealing with incarcerated veterans, we know that we can get them benefits to go to school. We know that we can get schools to go into prisons to provide them education. See, we have to use this platform to make up for the sacrifices that these guys made. If this is their hometown, they would want the best for their hometown, the people's in their hometown. So we're doing this in their spirit. And we're going into the community centers and the libraries with it. People don't know, everybody don't know I got a book. I want to put it in the library in my hometown so people know that when I was talking about
shortchanged, yes.
I'm talking about this country shortchanged itself and didn't do what we're doing now. You know, we should have started this a long time ago. You know, so thank you.
And we got to focus on the things that matter. We got to focus on the things that really matter. I'm going to say that for a couple of reasons, because as we're sitting there squabbling about what's going on in Washington, what we think about relative to political parties and their differences in the whole 9 yards, the truth is that as a country, in some respects, we are really falling behind. And hate to put you on the spot again, but I get a chance to travel quite a bit, right? And relative to what we're seeing in other countries, for instance, from even a building materials perspective, right? There are some innovative things happening in this world that we have yet to scratch the surface on here in our country. Different organizations. I think in Germany the other day there was an unveiling of a building that was constructed. I think about 85% of it was from carbon fiber. Okay, and it's going to have some relevance here in just a second. So as we as a country are so stuck with our traditional methods of construction, for instance, we're seeing other parts of the world actually advance in those areas. And those are the things that matter. Why? Because when we're talking about employing the youth, employing veterans, okay, we're talking about employing them in the jobs of the future. But we have to have an infrastructure in place to make that happen. And all of these differences that we talk about so often just prolongs the opportunity for us to really make that leapfrog approach into that realm that we should really be in. So if I'm out of place, call me out. It's okay. But
you're right on there. We're doing a lot with new materials and new technologies, but there are parts of the world that are doing more.
Yes,
and I think that I haven't studied that or thought in depth about it, but there needs to be. We need to create communication and sharing across. Yes. The world is a really small world these days, right?
Right.
So we're not. My firm is not doing international business, but there's been opportunities from time to time, and most larger firms are, and most larger corporations, so virtually all of them are doing international work. The learning from different parts of the world, what technologies they're trying, what things they're using, absolutely.
Yes.
We had an opportunity to do a mass timber project a couple years ago, and the project didn't go forward, but we learned a lot really fast.
Yes.
And the young architects are just eat that up.
Yes. Because
they're very anxious, and I'm not a young one, but I think I am. So I'm pretty much eating it up too. But international sharing of ideas and technologies and things that benefit business.
Yes.
And job opportunities, but also solving problems of human discouragement and just the whole gamut, right?
Right.
A soldier comes home from the service and has seen worse things and experienced worse things than most people ever want to even think about, and we have to be there for them.
Yes.
And then other parts of the world are dealing with it. So they're probably learning things in Ukraine right now,
Absolutely.
in Eastern Europe,
Absolutely.
about caring for soldiers and families
Yes.
who have been displaced. I can't fathom what they're going through. But we have friends who live in Moldova who are caring for those Ukrainians coming through, fleeing the problems. There are things being learned in that crucible
Yes.
that are valuable internationally,
Yes.
that we should all be caring about.
Right.
So,
And
and you're right.
Yeah.
Even construction technology.
yes, yes, yeah. We're not exempt by any
Right.
stretch of the imagination. It is very it's very important for us to really bring that home, because these jobs of the future are the things that we need to be gravitating towards talking about, instead of actually allowing fringe groups to actually control the conversation one way or the other. We really need to pick up the pace here, and it's about education, it's about economics, it's about healthcare, it's about all of these different things. But at the end of the day, we cannot be in perpetual wars anymore. And actually having a group of individuals come back to this country after serving and not giving them their fair due. We have to have an environment where they can actually survive and thrive. So creating jobs, creating entrepreneurship opportunities, all of the things that Sons of Atlanta, stands for.
Yeah.
Those are the things that are at the top of our minds. And there is an affinity. There is a relationship between, government, all of the activities that we're doing here. And I'm not just talking about government at the federal level, but at the city, state level, and the whole 9 yards. So, having all of those resources at our fingertips actually helps us to overcome a lot of those obstacles. So, I know it's very important.
Yeah. We have a tendency to forget, but I was a byproduct of coming out of the military with a talent and being able to use it and for the rest of my life. And that's extremely important for those people that are coming out of the military today.
Yes.
They have incredible talent.
Yes.
There were things that we learned in the military that we could not share with the public, but it was knowledge we
Yes.
gained
Yes.
that at some point in the future, personally, I was able to use. And so it is extremely important that those skills and talents are made available for them for career purposes,
Yes.
not just for the military. The military does an excellent job of training, training me for my future. And then having challenges with veterans that were coming back with, they had those talents, but they came back with health challenges
Yes.
that they weren't aware of and how to deal with.
Right.
And so all facets of society, the medical community sometimes need to step up and say, this is what this person, PTSD is what I'm speaking of, is dealing with, if this is how we should handle it. And for some reason, after the Vietnam War, that lacked behind.
Yes.
Because it was not felt extremely important the way we see it today. Because now we're seeing the lasting effects of that. And so those types of jobs and careers are out there.
Yes.
That information is out there. The possibility of creating areas where these veterans returning with some of those skills can use them and to assist other veterans with dealing with. It's like we all felt good when we got together with veterans after the war and everything. And so that's the kind of stuff that we really need to be working on as far as relationships. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. And I know we're getting ready to wrap up here in a couple of minutes, but just to look at how funny this is. So, Anthony had the great pleasure of serving as a air traffic control professional for some. And here's the deal. So when you're coming into Atlanta, when you're flying into Atlanta, and the ATC tower puts you in a approach pattern, right?
Right.
And if you're landing towards the
You
west,
man.
if you're landing towards the west and they got to go to Stonecrest and turn around and come back in and you look
Yeah.
out that right window, guess
Yeah.
what they're going to see from the air?
Sons of Atlanta.
And look at Piedmont Park. Yes, exactly.
That big green area.
Exactly.
You know, it's funny you say that because every time I fly in or out of Atlanta, I look out the window. I love to
Yeah.
watch,
Yeah.
and I'll say to my wife, "Oh, there's a building we did. There's another one that we did."
Yeah.
And now we'll say, down in there is Sons of Atlanta Memorial.
Yeah.
See
Under all those
trees.
trees.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yes, awesome. You know,
That's great.
That's great, man. I really appreciate having the time to work with you guys on this project. Mr. Fowler, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for
Thank
all
you
that you
very
do.
much.
Thank you for everything that you've done. I mean,
Yes.
this actually brings things home for us, and we really appreciate all the work that you've done. And we just look forward to working with you on other projects in the future.
Sounds great.
For as long as I have breath, I'll make it happen.
Yes.
Thanks, Anthony. Thanks, Reverend
Yeah.
McGee.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you so much,
And
everyone.
we'll see you again next week, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today.